What if I told you that all the striving, the struggle, the endless effort to control life could actually be keeping you from the peace and fulfillment you're seeking? Imagine letting go of the need to push, to force every outcome, and instead stepping into a state of flow, where things come to you naturally, effortlessly. This isn't about giving up, it's about embracing the art of not trying, a way of living that unlocks what you truly desire. Today, we'll explore this profound shift and reveal how doing less can lead to having more. Ready to let go and see what flows your way? Nature flows in perfect rhythm. Like a cosmic dance, the sun rises and sets each day without hesitation, casting its golden glow across the land, illuminating life, and then sinking gently, making way for the night. This cycle, which we may often take for granted, is a reminder that everything has its own time and place, unfolding with patience and precision. Each element within nature has a purpose, connected to a greater balance. Every dawn and every sunset serve as silent teachers, whispering that life, too, moves in cycles, a dance of beginnings, growth, and rest. Now imagine the rivers that wind across vast landscapes. They don't fight to flow, they simply follow the natural contours of the earth, effortlessly carving their path. It's not about forcing progress but allowing it to happen. This is the art of Wu Wei, the Taoist principle of effortless action, doing without forcing, moving without strain. For anyone feeling lost in the pressures of modern life, this flow in nature invites us to pause, to remember that sometimes the best progress happens when we let go of control and trust in our natural direction. Think of the human body, a miraculous example of balance. Millions of cells work in harmony, their movements so perfectly aligned that we barely notice them, yet they maintain life itself. This hidden orchestra within us reflects the universe's quiet power and elegance. Each heartbeat, each breath, resonates with the natural cycles around us, a subtle reminder that we too are a part of this flow. When we disrupt this rhythm by overthinking or overdoing, we drift away from our true path. Yet, as humans, we often overlook this wisdom. Society urges us to compete, to achieve, to chase, a relentless cycle that distances us from the gentle teachings of nature. In this chase, we lose sight of our essence, pulled in different directions until our energy wanes. The truth, however, is that growth is natural, like the blooming of a flower. We are meant to evolve, to shift, not by force but by surrendering to the cycles of the universe, trusting in the wisdom of our inner nature. Letting go of this struggle, as the Taoists suggest, aligns us with Wu Wei, teaching us that fulfillment doesn't come from endless effort but from an alignment with flow. It's a subtle art, and once we learn it, we begin to find meaning in even the simplest things. Patience becomes second nature, awareness sharpens, and a natural joy arises as we recognize that we are, and always have been, connected to the rhythms of the cosmos. This is the power of surrender, of merging with the flow rather than pushing against it. So, as you consider this natural rhythm today, ask yourself, are you moving with the flow or against it? Next, we'll dive deeper into the wisdom our own bodies hold, a living example of harmony that may just reveal the next layer of this mystery. Imagine the intricate web of life inside you, a universe all its own, woven from cells and energy, each one pulsing with purpose. The body is a temple of harmony, where every heartbeat, every breath, is a reminder of the delicate balance we share with the cosmos. Millions of cells work silently, sustaining us without effort or intention. Here, within ourselves, we find an eternal example of Wu Wei, action without struggle. This internal universe whispers that our truest nature is not one of chaos but of harmony, inviting us to trust in its wisdom. In observing this harmony, we find a powerful mirror for our lives. Each organ, each cell, has a role to play, and in their quiet cooperation lies the secret to well-being. The heart beats rhythmically, driven not by the ego's push to do more but by an innate wisdom that simply is. This is the essence of flow, of surrendering to a state beyond effort. Our bodies show us that real power isn't forced, it's a seamless unfolding, an alignment with life's natural rhythm. Yet, in the noise of daily life, we often forget this simplicity. The mind pulls us into the future, while the body, steady and grounded, lives only in the present. The tension between mind and body creates friction, a dissonance that reflects our lack of awareness. To restore balance, we must silence the mind and allow the body to lead. A deep breath, an attentive heartbeat, these are not only physical sensations but anchors to the present, a pathway to reconnect with the natural harmony within us. The body's wisdom also lies in its patience. Cells regenerate, wounds heal, and energy flows without us needing to force it. This patience mirrors the patience of nature, showing that real change doesn't happen overnight, it's a steady journey. When we resist this natural pace, forcing growth or healing, we disrupt the body's rhythm, leading to exhaustion and imbalance. But when we listen to it, when we honor the body's wisdom, we experience a deeper alignment with our inner and outer worlds. This alignment invites us into a powerful practice, observing our physical selves as a sacred ritual. A quiet walk, a stretch in the morning sun, or a few mindful breaths can be enough to remind us of the beauty of this body, this vessel of life. In these moments, we are reminded that our physical being is more than flesh and bone, it's a bridge between the material and spiritual, a sacred link to the universal flow. As we explore this connection further, consider the next step in this journey of surrender. The natural flow within us is only one part of a greater, cosmic balance. Next, we look at the world beyond ourselves, where nature reveals the truth that there is no struggle, only the quiet, patient unfolding of all that is meant to be. Ready to explore what nature has to teach us? Have you ever felt lost, disconnected from who you truly are? I created 3 transformative ebooks to help you reconnect with your true essence. Click the link in the pinned comment and start your transformation now. Look around at nature's gentle rhythm, rivers flow, seasons change, stars rise and fall in the sky. Everything moves in perfect, effortless coordination, without rush or resistance. Nature reminds us that the universe thrives in a state of Wu Wei, where nothing is forced, yet everything is accomplished. This absence of struggle is a profound message, showing us that we too are designed to move with grace, trusting in the unfolding of each moment. When we sync with this flow, life itself becomes lighter, filled with patience and trust. In the forest, no tree competes to grow faster than another, each plant takes root, grows, and reaches for the light in its own time. The same is true of rivers, winding through landscapes as they naturally shape the earth without forcing their path. Nature's calm persistence teaches us that growth isn't rushed, it's an unfolding that honors every step along the way. And in this patience, there is profound strength, a reminder that our journey doesn't need force to be powerful. Yet, in human life, we often do the opposite. Driven by societal pressures and ego, we chase one goal after another, believing that happiness lies just one achievement ahead. But nature whispers a different truth. True fulfillment lies not in the chase but in presence, in embracing the journey without attaching to outcomes. Nature's quiet resilience reveals that the real power is in allowing life to flow through us, free of the need to control every detail. Imagine if we lived as rivers do, trusting the path without resistance. The ego often fears surrender, thinking it means losing control, but surrender isn't giving up, it's a deeper trust in the wisdom of life itself. To live without struggle is not to abandon our dreams but to trust that they will come to life at the right time, with the right energy. Just as a tree bears fruit only when it's ripe, our intentions too can bloom when we align with life's natural rhythm. Consider this, nature doesn't worry about survival, it simply exists. The sun doesn't question if it should rise, it does so effortlessly, following a timeless cycle. This freedom from worry invites us to rethink our approach to life. Could we, too, release the need to control, allowing ourselves to flow as nature intended? With this awareness, we begin to see that many of our struggles are self-created, born from an inner resistance to letting life unfold. As you contemplate the absence of struggle in nature, feel its invitation to relax, to let go, and to move with the same quiet power. Next, we step into a mirror of this lesson within society, a world that often pushes us into a race of competition. But what if we broke free from this illusion of competition and embraced the ease of flow instead? Stay with me as we dive deeper into this next layer. In a world driven by the rush for more success, more recognition, more achievement, competition has become a relentless cycle, a race without a true finish line. Society conditions us to believe that our worth is measured by how much we accomplish compared to others, trapping us in a loop of striving. But this endless chase often leaves us empty, distant from the peace that flows naturally when we live in alignment with our true purpose. Imagine if we could break free from this race, seeing it for what it really is, a distraction from the inner harmony we seek. Competition might offer the illusion of growth, but unlike the organic evolution of nature, this race is tainted by anxiety and comparison. We often see others as benchmarks rather than companions on the journey. This mindset builds barriers, isolating us from one another, and from our deeper selves. True growth, as nature shows us, is not a competition but a shared dance, a collective journey where each being plays a unique part in the larger tapestry. When we let go of rivalry, we find balance, allowing ourselves to grow in harmony with others rather than against them. The cost of this competition can be profound. We lose sight of who we really are, absorbed by roles that society, family, or even we ourselves impose. In chasing these external measures of success, we lose connection with our inner flow, our natural rhythm. Like a river forced into a channel, we begin to experience resistance, burnout, and a longing for something more genuine, something real. The ego thrives in competition, craving validation from outside. But the soul seeks fulfillment, which can only be found within. Imagine stepping out of this race entirely. Instead of running toward an undefined better, you're simply present, moving in alignment with your own journey. This freedom from competition reveals a deep truth: life itself is the ultimate teacher, guiding us to live fully in each moment without comparing our path to another's. When we step away from the chase, we begin to feel life's richness, realizing that our journey is enough and that the peace we seek has been with us all along. In Taoist wisdom, Wu Wei teaches us not to force but to flow naturally with the universe. To release competition is to embrace Wu Wei, to understand that life unfolds in its own timing. This isn't about abandoning goals, but about pursuing them in a state of balance, trusting that our desires will manifest when we're aligned with our true purpose, not driven by comparison. Like the river that carves its path through stone, we find that what we need flows to us when we stop striving. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, what would it mean to release the need to compete? Could you let go, trusting that your unique journey is enough? Next, we explore how this principle is embodied in ancient wisdom, the timeless teaching of Wu Wei, which invites us to go beyond competition and embrace a life of profound ease and balance. Are you ready to let go of the struggle? The journey continues. Imagine living in such alignment with life's natural flow that you never feel the need to force things into being. This is the essence of Wu Wei, the ancient Taoist principle of non-doing or effortless action. It's not about inaction but about moving in harmony with life, trusting in its unfolding. When we adopt Wu Wei, we step out of the struggle and into a state of profound awareness, where each action is intentional and meaningful. This is the art of letting life guide us, knowing that all we truly need will come when we are ready. In practicing Wu Wei, we learn that life is not a battle to be won but a journey to be experienced. Each moment offers an opportunity to act with presence and purpose, rather than to push against what is. When we release the need to control every outcome, a beautiful alignment occurs, a merging of our will with the natural rhythm of the universe. Life begins to flow as it does in nature, without resistance, as if guided by an invisible hand. This is the wisdom of Wu Wei, the realization that less effort often leads to deeper fulfillment. Yet, in a world that glorifies hustle and achievement, Wu Wei can feel counterintuitive. We are taught that success comes only through relentless effort, through pushing beyond our limits. But this approach often drains our energy, creating distance between us and our true selves. By contrast, Wu Wei invites us to act only when necessary, in alignment with our inner purpose. Like the effortless growth of a tree or the gentle path of a river, our lives gain depth when we stop forcing progress and instead allow ourselves to be guided by intuition and inner knowing. This principle also challenges the ego, which thrives on control and validation. The ego fears surrender, interpreting Wu Wei as weakness. But surrendering to the flow is not about giving up, it's about trusting that the universe has its own timing and wisdom. The deeper truth of Wu Wei is that life's natural state is balance. By embracing this, we free ourselves from the struggle, experiencing a profound calmness, an inner peace that emerges only when we let go. The practice of Wu Wei is like stepping into a river that carries us toward our highest purpose. Each day, we can remind ourselves to let go of the need to force, to flow instead, trusting that the universe supports us. Whether it's in our relationships, work, or personal growth, Wu Wei teaches that everything unfolds in its time, as long as we stay present and receptive. This shift in perspective allows us to live with greater ease, joy, and connection to the deeper rhythms of life. Are you ready to release control and let life flow through you? This ancient wisdom holds the key to a life of balance, free from the burdens of competition and ego-driven ambition. Next, we explore the final piece of this journey, how the ego, with all its demands and desires, can obstruct our path to true freedom. Stay with me as we dive into the role of the ego, uncovering how releasing its grip can open the door to a life of true harmony and peace. Ready to go deeper? The ego, with its endless desires and fears, can be both captivating and confining. It whispers that we are separate, that our worth depends on our achievements, appearances, and the approval of others. But this is merely a mask, concealing our true self, which lies beyond all roles and labels. In this light, the ego is like a fog, obscuring the inner peace that flows naturally when we release these illusions. Letting go of the ego is not about losing identity, it's about finding the freedom to live authentically, unburdened by the constant need for validation. The ego draws us into competition, pushing us to compare and measure our worth against others. It convinces us that happiness is always one step ahead, just beyond reach. But the deeper truth, as the great sages remind us, is that fulfillment resides within. The ego feeds on separation, making us believe we are isolated fragments rather than interconnected parts of a whole. When we release this illusion, we begin to see ourselves not as lone travelers but as integral threads in the vast fabric of existence. Yet, the ego resists surrender. It fears dissolution, clinging tightly to its roles and desires. It masks itself as ambition or even self-improvement, but beneath these layers is the simple desire for security, for control. But true security, paradoxically, lies in letting go. As we step back from the ego's grip, we create space for our higher self, the part of us that is timeless, wise, and compassionate. This is the path to inner peace, embracing our whole self, beyond the limits of ego. Imagine peeling away the ego's layers, like dust on a mirror that obscures its shine. As we release these layers, we uncover our true essence, a self free from fear, one that sees the world not through the lens of competition but through the eyes of compassion and connection. This deeper self has no need to prove itself, it simply is. The journey to uncover it is one of returning to who we've always been, rediscovering the inner peace that has been within us all along. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection help us to observe the ego without judgment. In silence, we can see its illusions more clearly, understanding that its demands are simply passing waves in the ocean of our consciousness. Each time we step back from the ego's grasp, we find ourselves more in tune with the flow of life, experiencing a freedom that is beyond the superficial. In this freedom, we connect with a profound sense of purpose and unity. As you reflect on the role of the ego in your life, ask yourself, what layers could you release to reveal your true self? Each of us has the potential to see beyond the ego's illusions and embrace the peace that lies within. Up next, we explore how this reconnection to our essence brings us back to nature itself, a reminder that we are not separate but beautifully interconnected with the world around us. Shall we continue? Nature holds a timeless wisdom, a gentle reminder that life is beautifully interconnected. When we step into a forest, feel the earth underfoot, or watch the waves rhythmically wash ashore, we are reminded of the simplicity of being. This reconnection with nature helps us dissolve the stresses and anxieties of modern life, guiding us back to a balanced state. In these moments, we feel the harmony within ourselves and the world around us, a quiet knowing that we are part of something greater, a universe that flows in perfect rhythm. Imagine taking a deep breath in the midst of towering trees, each one growing with effortless strength, unbothered by time. Nature doesn't rush, it trusts in its own cycles. This experience can be a profound teacher, showing us that our lives, too, unfold naturally when we release the need to control every detail. By observing nature's quiet patience, we can reconnect with our own ability to move through life with calm and purpose, rather than haste. Reconnecting with nature can also help quiet the mind, creating a space for inner clarity. Away from screens and noise, we can hear our own thoughts more clearly. This silence is healing, allowing us to listen to our true needs and desires. Like a mirror, nature reflects our own natural state of balance, grounding us in a way that reminds us of who we are beyond the roles we play in society. Here, we find ourselves, and here, we find peace. When we align ourselves with nature, we also reconnect with the ancient wisdom that flows through all life. In every tree, in every stream, there is a message: let go, be present, and trust. Just as a river doesn't worry about its path, we too can surrender, allowing life to lead us without resistance. This is the core of Wu Wei, to trust that we are exactly where we need to be, moving toward what is meant for us. Nature, in its quiet persistence, teaches us that this flow is all we need. Consider making time to be in nature, not as a task but as a ritual. Whether it's a morning walk, a quiet moment in the garden, or simply watching the sky, these moments are gifts. They offer space to recharge, to breathe deeply, and to feel alive in the simplest, most fulfilling way. This connection reminds us that we are never truly alone, the universe is always around us, within us, guiding us with gentle hands. Next, we explore the final step in this journey, understanding that, like a seed in the earth, our personal growth is a patient process. With time and faith, we unfold and blossom. Are you ready to explore this patience, this journey of growth? Let's continue. Growth is like a seed planted in the earth. It begins in darkness, buried away, and only emerges into light with patience and nurturing. This process teaches us that every desire, every dream we hold close, has its own time to bloom. In a world that often pushes us toward instant results, nature reminds us that true growth cannot be rushed. Each phase has its purpose. The roots dig deep before the sprout reaches upward. In the same way, we too must sometimes be still, cultivating patience and trust that all will unfold as it should. In this waiting, we learn to let go of control and surrender to the wisdom of the universe. Much like the soil protects the seed, unseen forces are at work in our lives, guiding us and preparing us for what is to come. This trust in timing is a profound lesson, one that asks us to believe that even if things seem still on the surface, transformation is happening deep within. Here, the universe invites us to cultivate faith, trusting that our goals and dreams will bloom in the season that's meant for them. Growth also requires us to face and shed what no longer serves us, much like a plant discards old leaves. This process can be uncomfortable, even painful, as we release outdated beliefs, relationships, or patterns that once defined us. But by letting go, we make space for something new to emerge. This is the wisdom of nature's cycles, constant flow of renewal and rebirth. Embracing this allows us to grow with grace, becoming more aligned with our true purpose. To nurture our growth, we must also learn to listen to our inner guidance, much like a plant instinctively reaches for sunlight. This intuition, often quieted by the noise of daily life, is our compass. It points us toward experiences, people, and opportunities that resonate with our path. By honoring this inner voice, we allow ourselves to grow naturally, moving in the direction that feels authentic and fulfilling. Each step taken in alignment with this guidance deepens our roots and strengthens our foundation. Personal growth is a journey, not a destination. Each day brings new lessons, and with each season, we shed old layers and emerge renewed. Just as nature doesn't rush, we too can find peace in knowing that we are exactly where we need to be, learning and expanding at the right pace. Trusting this journey invites us to stop comparing ourselves to others and instead focus on our unique unfolding, appreciating each small step as part of a greater whole. Are you ready to nurture this inner seed, to allow yourself the patience and trust that your path is unfolding perfectly? As we close this journey, we'll delve into the ultimate act of surrender, flowing with the universe, trusting that everything we seek is already on its way. Shall we take this final step together? When we release our grip on the need to control and instead open ourselves to life's natural flow, we step into a state of profound trust in the universe. This is the heart of surrender, not giving up, but letting go of resistance, allowing ourselves to be guided by the invisible threads that connect us to something far greater than ourselves. Trusting the universe means knowing that each experience, whether joyous or challenging, has a purpose, shaping us in ways we may not yet understand. In this flow, we find peace, for we realize that life is not happening to us, but for us. This trust calls us to release the anxieties and expectations we hold about the future. Just as a river flows to the ocean without questioning its path, we too can embrace our journey, knowing it will lead us exactly where we need to be. The Taoist concept of Wu Wei embodies this wisdom, acting in harmony with the natural world rather than struggling against it. It is a reminder that our goals and dreams are part of the larger flow of life, and by aligning with this, we allow them to unfold effortlessly, guided by a rhythm far wiser than our own. Embracing this flow doesn't mean we abandon our dreams or desires. Instead, it invites us to hold them gently, free from the weight of expectation. When we trust the universe, we release the need to know exactly how things will unfold, focusing instead on nurturing the energy we bring to each moment. This shift from forcing to allowing can be transformative, helping us to live with a sense of joy and openness that is not reliant on outcomes but on the richness of the present. To flow with the universe is also to practice gratitude. Each day, as we acknowledge the abundance around us, we begin to see life as a gift rather than a challenge to be overcome. This gratitude nurtures a sense of calm within, reinforcing our trust that what is meant for us will find us. By focusing on the beauty of what is here now, we strengthen our connection to the universe's rhythm, drawing more of what resonates with our true selves. In moments of doubt, remember that the universe is constantly in motion, carrying us forward even when we cannot see the path ahead. Trusting this flow is like standing in the current of a river, though we may not control its direction, we are always supported by its strength. Each challenge, each joy, is part of this unfolding, reminding us that we are not alone, but part of a vast, interconnected web of life. As we close this journey together, take a moment to reflect. Are you ready to release control and let the universe guide you? Embrace the flow, for it is through trust and surrender that we find the peace, purpose, and fulfillment we seek. Let this be the beginning of a deeper connection with the world around you and the infinite wisdom within. Thank you for joining me on this path of self-discovery. The universe awaits. Imagine a moment when time itself seems to fade away, a state where every action flows effortlessly, and each breath feels aligned with something greater. This is the flow state, a deeply immersive experience that goes beyond simple concentration. It's a merging of self with action, where we become fully present in what we're doing. Achieving this state is not only profoundly satisfying but also enriching, showing us that life's greatest joy often comes from simply being, deeply engaged with the moment at hand. Flow arises when we cultivate patience. In a world often urging us to hurry, patience allows us to move through life without rush, trusting that each moment unfolds precisely as it should. With patience, we create the space for life to reveal itself naturally, untethered from past regrets or future worries. Flow is not something forced, it's an effortless alignment that happens when we allow ourselves to be fully in the moment. This gentle surrender to the present opens us to a unique harmony, a rhythm where every action feels meaningful and purposeful. In this state, the ego takes a back seat. We are freed from the noise of doubt and expectation, as flow transforms our actions into an expression of our authentic selves. This is the essence of Wu Wei, the Taoist principle of effortless action, which shows us that often, the most powerful and impactful work emerges when we're not striving, but simply allowing life to move through us. The flow state brings an abundance of energy and creativity, enhancing our experiences and reminding us that fulfillment is found in our presence, not in the end result. Flow cannot be chased, it must be allowed to arise. The path to flow is a gentle balance of effort and letting go, much like a river moves with both purpose and ease. By setting intentions without attachment, we create an environment where flow can thrive. This mindful approach to each task brings a natural sense of satisfaction, revealing that joy is inherent in the journey itself, not in the destination. Through flow, life becomes a rich, unfolding experience where the quality of each moment matters more than the quantity of our achievements. Mindfulness practices can deepen this experience, creating more opportunities for flow in everyday life. A few minutes of meditation, a mindful breath, or even the simple act of journaling can train our minds to stay present and receptive. These practices help quiet the mental noise, enabling us to enter a state of flow with greater ease and frequency. When we live in harmony with patience and presence, we discover that flow is not a rare state but a natural part of life, always available when we connect deeply with each moment. The beauty of flow is its reminder that life itself is the ultimate act of creation. By embracing patience and learning to fully inhabit each moment, we allow our lives to become a series of meaningful experiences, crafted not by external measures of success but by the simple act of being present. This is the gift of flow, a life of ease, grace, and fulfillment that comes not from doing more but from truly engaging with the here and now. Remember, the power of flow lies not in force, but in allowing. What would happen if you let go of the struggle, trusting that life can unfold naturally? This week, try it, release the need to control one thing, even for a moment, and notice how it feels. Share your experience in the comments, we'd love to hear your journey into this art of not trying. And if you're ready to dive deeper, subscribe and turn on notifications. Together, let's continue exploring the path to a life of ease, balance, and true fulfillment. If you're ready to experience the flow of life, what comes next may surprise you. In the upcoming video, we dive into a journey of consciousness and transformation, exploring how feeling lost or stuck is often the sign of an impending breakthrough. Through powerful stories and ancient wisdom, we'll see how embracing pain can lead to profound change and, ultimately, rebirth. Ever wondered if your biggest challenge could be the key to unlocking your true self? Join me as we reveal the light that awaits on the other side of struggle.